Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Curry, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. I've finally managed to get the opportunity to make an episode. The day has pretty much gone away from me. My daughter is at home, not going to school. This week they're off, so I spend time with my family, try to get some rest as well. So I got a few coaching calls in, so already the day has been quite eventful. But I was thinking about what to speak about today, and I was thinking about the game I was watching on the weekend. It was South Africa versus England semi-final in order for the World Cup finals. This is rugby, by the way. And I know some of you guys, most of our audience is the Americans, so they might not know the game of rugby, but it's a little bit different to American football, where you got the quarterback who you guys are trying to go past the gain line. You've got 4 chances. I'm not going to tell you how the game works, but you're throwing the ball forward in order to gain yardage. Whereas in rugby, you have to pass backwards in order to get yardage, but also you can kick forward to get yardage. So again, it's almost similar concept, but there is this part where you're gaining line. Now, within the rugby, there is one guy who's kind of like a quarterback, the guy who does the kicking. Usually they use him to score points. So when you kick the ball from the ground and then you kick it through the posts, that's 3 points. And then they also use him as in if you're under pressure, if you're in your own closer to your field goal, like you take the ball and then you try and kick it as far as possible, and you have to kick it out, so it relieves pressure on your partners. So it's kind of like when you get to the 4th down, and then you need to put pressure on the other attacking team. So you kick as far as you can so that they can try and... Anyways, it's kind of similar game. So South Africa was during the game, and South Africa was sort of struggling to get a foothold into the game. England managed to study a few things that France did well the game before, where South Africa was sort of out of its place. South Africa is the number 1 team in rugby right now. So they started exploiting a few of South Africa's weaknesses, and it was not... They don't have a lot of weaknesses, just more of really removing the game away from what they're really good at, which is really powerful. They love hitting stuff. South African rugby is kind of like the bull who sees red and just wants to smash into things. So that's the game. So they started playing a game where they took that out of the game, and then South Africa was not being able to implement how their game, because they like to hit things and then set up their attacks from that. So they couldn't set up the attacks from that, because it means that part of the attacking force was out of the game, and which suited England, because then they only had to worry about trying to force the game into those little areas. So for about the game is about 80 minutes. So for about 70 minutes, England was sort of on top of things. They were under control. And the one thing that happened before the halftime is that they changed the guy who's kind of like, let's call it the fly-half, who's kind of like the quarterback of South Africa. And this guy came in. And when he came in, you could see the difference, because he recognized what was going on. He took into account, and because of the frustration that was going on within the South African camp, because they were not being able to impose themselves into the game and really start taking over the game. There was frustration between the whole team, and they were trying to force the game. So they were trying to play harder, and they were trying to force the game, which was causing a lot of errors and causing a lot of confusion amongst the team. And there's a guy who came in, so they replaced one of the guys, which is controversial when they replaced the fly-half that was starting to another fly-half. So it's equivalent to your starting quarterback being changed mid-game. And so they changed this guy, and they brought in another guy called Pollard. It was incredible. He was a doubt to play the World Cup because he has just come off injury. And you could see as soon as he came in, within 5 minutes, and they were panning to the camera or to him every time there was some sort of breakdown in play, and you could see he was communicating to what they call the forwards. These are the big guys that get into the scrum. He was communicating with them, telling them, instructing what to do, and you could see he was quite verbal, and he wasn't verbal in a way that he was cross, but he was conveying information, and you could see the relaxed, calm demeanor that he had is just communicating with this, and it was a joy to watch. It was absolutely brilliant. And then you could see him on this same breath turning around, looking at what they call the backs, the guys that do the running, and looking at them and speaking to them to the same manner, telling them what to do, move into this place, I want you to go this way. And you could see directing, using his hands, really communicating, making, and one good thing about it is that when you're speaking to some of the guys, just making sure he makes eye contact, passes them on the chest, moves them around, pushes them, and you're really, you could see that you're single-handedly trying to save South Africa's game. And you could see from about sort of the 50th minute, this sort of shift happened, the momentum went to South Africa's side, and there were a few other changes that were made, but you could see that the vocal, or how vocal he was in order to get everybody to be calm and collected and really start not taking into account, like, you could see what I think he was saying was that this game is not gone. They're only 6 points ahead. You guys need to relax because you're really trying to snatch this. Play the game that you already know. And you could see this thing now playing out where they were just sort of slowing down the game and then playing into the tempo that they want to play it. And then they're now trying to be as calm as possible. The errors that the South Africans were making just sort of reduced. And then all of a sudden, England was the one that making errors and the pressure was going on. And I know you're probably wondering, what does this have to do with being in a sexless relationship? And I was thinking about this, and I was thinking that whenever you are within a crisis and chaos within your relationship, when there's sexless, you're failing to communicate, and this stuff that's going on, because life is massively challenging and you can feel beaten up from every single angle. The kids are acting up, work is acting up, the wife is acting up, and you just doesn't feel like nothing is going your way. It's very important that you become that calming voice within that situation, because I think if most guys, they sort of go through the motions and then just be part of that momentum, because that guy could have come in and just been part of that group where they were just making mistakes and forcing errors and trying to snatch the game and trying to claw their way back into the game without really any sense of calm and sense of direction and sense of intelligence. And this is where it comes important that you have to understand that challenges will happen every single time. And I don't know what challenges you're going through right now in your life, in your relationship, in everything. And I know some of you guys have come here because you're in a sexless relationship, and being in a sexless relationship will make everything that you're going through feel like 10 times harder than it is. And I know that's the feeling because I've been there before. But you need to take a time to just have a cool head, really know that all these things are going to go to pass. That it's all going to come to an end in terms of it's all going to finish. You're going through a season where it's difficult right now, but you need to be that calm voice. You need to use intelligence in order to overcome this. You need to really look beyond what's going on right now and see yourself doing better. And you can do this. And like I said, I think the biggest part was being calm and being vocal. So as things are going wrong, you're being calm and not allowing that to overpower you, or at least overpower your emotions. So you're not making decisions based off of just negative emotions, but you're also making decisions based off of that you're calm, you're collected, you're taking account into the information that is being given to you. At the same time, when you can be vocal, be the source of calm, be the source of stability, be the source of intelligence in terms of where you're going to go next. And this is one of the lessons that I learned from watching that game, and something that I implement in my own relationship and in my own life, where if anything is going wrong, I try and stay as calm as possible, try and make the best decisions as possible, but at the same time I'm the one that's the most vocal and have the ability to tell everybody to stay calm, one, but more importantly, make them move to the place where we're driving out of the challenge. So hopefully that's something that's inspirational for you, because that was an inspirational thing when I was thinking about it, like thinking how amazing that guy was. His name is Pollard, and he's absolutely incredible. He's the one who kicked the field goal to put South Africa into the final, and I'm looking forward to the final this Saturday. So it's going to be absolutely insane. In my household, we were split. My wife and son were supporting England. Me and my daughter were supporting South Africa, and then whichever it won, we're going to both support. We're all going to support in the final. So yeah, it's absolutely incredible. Hopefully that's something that's inspirational for you guys. Thank you very much. Take care.